Hi, friends. Welcome back to Journey to a Joyful Life. Today, I want to talk about something that transformed my life in ways I never expected. Something that brought me more joy, more peace, and surprisingly, even more opportunities. It's the idea of enough. Enough success, enough money, enough busyness, enough proving and achieving and chasing. We live in a world that constantly tells us that we need more. More money, more followers, more stuff, more hustle, more success, more goals. But what if joy is not found in more? What if real joy comes from discovering your personal definition of enough and realizing that you may have more than you're giving yourself credit for? Today, we're exploring the joy of enough, how embracing sufficiency shifts your mindset, strengthens gratitude, and then ironically opens the door for even more goodness to flow into life. So let's get into it. So, what is enough really about? Well, enough is a deeply personal concept. It's not a specific number, a specific status. There's no universally accepted definition of enough. It's this internal feeling of sufficiency. It's not an external measurement of success, although we often think of it that way. The world's definition of enough is infinite and endless, but your definition of enough can be really grounding. Enough is not complacency, it's clarity on your values. So let's talk about enough money. Enough money means security and freedom. It doesn't have to mean excess or comparison with others. Many people chase wealth for emotional reasons. They're striving for safety. They're striving for a sense of worth or a sense of belonging. And unfortunately, we never feel satisfied because money doesn't automatically equal safety, worth, or belonging. And there's plenty of studies that show that. Now, money to meet your basic needs does increase life satisfaction. So up to a certain point, money does increase joy and happiness. But once you hit that level of being able to meet your basic needs for food and shelter, it no longer adds happiness to your life. So it doesn't ever fill those emotional voids that we're chasing of safety and worth and belonging. Enough interrupts constant striving and can anchor you in gratitude. I have what I need. I'm okay. I'm supported. Gratitude doesn't block abundance, it actually welcomes more of it. So we live in an achievement culture. And achievement cultures teach us from a very young age that it's all about striving for that next level, the next milestone, or the next expectation. But this constant striving can completely disconnect us from joy, from health, from relationships, and from rest. Enough achievement means honoring what you've already built and created and learned and overcome in your life. You get to say, I'm proud of this. I don't need to chase validation anymore. I am definitely guilty of being a part of the achievement culture. I have many times caught myself thinking, when I finally get this, then I'll be happy. particularly in my 20s and 30s, I definitely had that kind of if then thinking. If I get this promotion, if I get to this level of income, if I get a house that we can live in safely, if I get enough students in my yoga classes, whatever it was, I had this ideology. And then I'd achieve that goal and I'd be happy about it for a little bit, and then go back to what researchers call homeostasis, where I'm at the same level of happiness I was at before. I acclimated to the new success. It didn't feel shiny and exciting anymore. It just became part of normal life. And then I'd create a new goal. I'm assuming I'm not alone in this, that some of you can relate to what I'm talking about. So I got to a point finally, I would say maybe in my 40s, where I just thought to myself, this is enough. I have achieved some things I'm really proud of, and particularly I'm talking about career-wise. I don't need to move to the next promotion to be enough. I can be really satisfied and content to keep making an impact and a difference right where I am. And it gave me a chance to breathe and reflect on what I'd already accomplished with gratitude. It gave me permission to stop chasing that next level. And the sense of peace that followed is so worth it. I felt lighter. I felt more clarity about what mattered to me in life. I felt alignment with my values. Really, it was very life-changing to accept my definition of enough for me personally. And the irony is that once I did that, once I kind of claimed that this was enough and I felt satisfied and proud and grateful, new opportunities then started showing up. New career paths came along, creative inspirations started happening. It was so surprising to me. I guess I had this small fear in the back of my mind that I was kind of settling, and that exactly opposite happened. That suddenly I had more opportunities to do really incredible things. So the lesson: the universe often responds to clarity, not grasping. So let's talk about enough feeling like it's settling. It's not. It's actually a strength. Settling is about shrinking your dreams, right? Getting smaller in your life. Enough for me was about expanding my gratitude. Enough was saying, I'm worthy right now. My life is full right now. And it doesn't shut the door on growth. Like I said, ironically, it actually shifted to more opportunities. And it shifts your motivation from fear to joy. There's a huge role that gratitude plays when you start defining what is enough in your life. Gratitude amplifies what we already have. When you focus on enoughness, your nervous system can actually relax. You create the emotional space for joy by letting your nervous system know that you're safe and you're okay. Enough plus gratitude equals sustainable joy, not temporary spikes of happiness. I have a challenge for you. I want to invite each of you to think about the following questions. What's enough money for me? What is enough work or status or accomplishment? What is enough rest? Where am I chasing more out of anxiety and fear, not out of desire? Where am I chasing more out of anxiety and fear, not from a place of desire? So here's what I've learned. When you decide you have enough, you become enough. And from that grounded, peaceful place, the most beautiful things start to flow into your life. Opportunities, relationships, clarity, creativeness. Not because you're striving for more, but because you're finally open to what aligns with your values. Enough is a doorway to joy. Enough is a homecoming. Enough is where we stop hustling for our worth and start living from it. If this message connected with you, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, maybe share it with someone who might need some permission to embrace the joy of enough in their life. And I'd love to hear from you. What does enough mean in your life right now? Until next time, friends, may you feel the joy of enough exactly where you are.